Bum bum. Yep. What's up, guys? Do another Trump announcement. We did yesterday's. We're doing today's. Make sure my mic is not muted this time. Bro, I started last stream with my mic muted. A little embarrassing. Trump's about to do another announcement related to gas. We are loaded up. I was looking at like Deal Book Summit things before. But we're all in on this Trump announcement now. It's supposed to be just rescinding the EV emission that Joe Biden set. That all cars by like 2035 had to be zero emission. So here are the plays. What's good, Jalen? We got, yes, inflation, right? I think this, like, my thinking is this announcement's going to center kind of around Joe Biden. So I'm hoping he says inflation in the fact that he got the quote-unquote worst inflation crisis of all time from Joe Biden. No emission. He's only said emission once. Like, if it's scripted, it's scripted, but it is what it is. Oh, are they going? It's live. Quickly, Sleepy Joe. I've got yes, Sleepy Joe. There's no Biden for this actual mention market because that would be so easy. But he said Sleepy Joe during the cabinet. His Sleepy Joe amount has actually been up over time. And I think like he gets asked a question about Joe Biden's auto pens or even about his own MRI scan. I think he's going to mention Sleepy Joe. He's been saying it more actually, Sleepy Joe Biden. So no Biden strike because that would be way too free. But we've got Sleepy Joe, yes. 66 to 107. A little bit on November 5th. I'm going to be honest. I thought this was October 7th when I first saw this. So, yeah, it's about November 5th, the election, not about Gaza and Israel. So I have a little bit of no. I got to sell some off, but it's about November 5th, the election. I might have dyslexia. It's okay. And then no Butcher. I don't think he's going to talk about that guy from Venezuela.
Hello,
Here we go, Trump.
Thank you very much. You all set?
We're all set. Let me get all set, actually, Trump.
Well, we're talking about CAFE standards, a very big deal, very important. Today, my administration has taken historic action to lower costs for American consumers, protect American auto jobs, and make buying a car much more affordable
All about
for
cars,
countless
baby.
American families and also safer. We're officially terminating Joe Biden's ridiculously burdensome, horrible actions.
There's Joe
CAFE
Biden.
standards that imposed expensive restrictions and
Oh,
sorts of
Get back.
problems, gave all sorts of problems to automakers. And we're not only talking about here, we're talking
hit
about
affordable.
outside of our country because nobody could
Already.
do it. Nobody wanted
Cancel
to
limit
do it,
orders.
and it was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices, combined with the insane electric vehicle mandate. Biden's
EV.
burdensome regulations helped cause the price of cars to soar more than 25%, and in one case,
Yo, chill. Why does it keep doing that?
year. Today we're taking one more step to kill the Green New Scam. It's part of the greatest
The
scam
Green New
probably,
Scam.
other than Russia, and a few others I could name.
Russia,
The
Russia,
greatest
Russia.
scam in American history, the Green New Scam, and it's a quest to end the
Dang.
gasoline.
I'm trying to find the nicknames market. Bro, why does this keep Yo, chill out!
In any other country by far.
Yo, I'm gonna have to switch streams from this fucking X one. What's your thought on Muhammad's? They're fire.
And in one case, they went up 18% in 1 year. Today we're taking one more step to kill the Green New Scam. It's part of the greatest, other than Russia, and a few others I could name.
Jesus, this is
The
so far
greatest
behind.
Scam in American history, the Green New Scam, and it's a quest to end the gasoline.
Green New Scam was already said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people want the gasoline car. They want everything. They want electric. They want to have lots of alternatives, but they do want the gasoline car. Right now, it's leading away by a lot.
There's gasoline.
The car business is a very interesting business, but we want to keep it that way. I want to thank Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, Deputy Transportation Secretary Stephen Bradbury, as well as CEO
No emission.
of
Pretty
Ford,
good.
Jim Farley. Jim, where is Jim?
There's Ford.
Hi, Jim. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. CEO of Stellantis, Antonio Filosa.
I'm thinking, yeah, you can get some yes, cheap,
Chairman of the National Automobile
some stuff that
Dealers Association.
he's gonna say during the
Tom
Q&A.
Castrita.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very
Yes, sir,
much,
Mr.
Tom. Great
President.
to have you.
Oh,
Manager of
yes,
General
sir.
Motors Orient plant.
Right here.
John Urbanek.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great to have you guys here. And you're going to say a few words in a minute about how ridiculous this was, but we've just freed you up. So you're going to have a good day. You're going to have a good number of years. Thanks as well to Senator Shelley Moore Capito, Ted Cruz, Kevin Kramer, Marsha Blackburn, Eric Schmidt, and Bernie Marino, as well as Representative Sam Graves.
You got to say
Vern
thanks to
Buchanan,
Sleepy
Mike
Joe,
Kelly,
man.
Roger Williams, Lisa McLean, and Troy Balderson. All great people. These are great people. And I know there's a lot of support long beyond the people that are here. We had tremendous support on this. From day one, I've been taking action to make buying a car more affordable. I signed an executive order to end the unfair, expensive electric vehicle mandate. As you know, we had to have an electric car within a very short period of time, even though there was no way of charging them and lots of other things. It would have cost $5 trillion to build the charging plants.
There's trillion.
And as you know, in certain parts of the Midwest, they spent, to build 9 chargers, they spent $8 billion.
You said a mission?
So that wasn't working out too well. That was done before me, by the way. I wouldn't have.
Am I so far
let it go
behind?
Forward. We're canceling the EPA's absurd tailpipe emission standards, one of the most
There's a mission. I'm so far behind.
important things that
Fuck!
I've never had a group of people come to me more
A mission? Really?
more powerfully and really just
Damn it.
devastated that they had to do it. It was killing them than the automobile manufacturers, the tailpipe emission standards. And I can tell you, your
Let's see if I
people
can
at
get this
Ford were
stream
coming
faster.
to me all the time, and they were saying, like, please, it doesn't
Much
do
more than they
anything,
can
and it's
control.
killing us.
Oh my
Now,
God.
under the new
Inception.
rules being issued today by Secretary Duffy, the Department of Transportation will rescind the
There we go.
Biden fuel economy prices. And I hate to say that because they were really not economy. They were really, they were anti-economy. They were horrible what they were doing to the costs.
Come on, Sleepy
and
Joe.
actually making the car much worse. But these policies forced automakers to build cars using expensive technologies that drove up costs, drove up prices, and made the car much worse. The action is expected to save the typical consumer at least $1,000 off the price of a new car, and we think substantially more than that. Under the Trump administration, $70 billion are now being invested in the American auto industry. Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Kentucky and Michigan plants. Is that a correct statement?
That's right.
That's a lot, $5 billion. You could do more.
Is that invested? That doesn't
Creating
count.
at least 4,000 new jobs. Stellantis announced that it will invest $13 billion to
Invest?
expand its
Someone buy
U.S.
that.
manufacturing by
Oh.
more than 50% and
There's
open new
manufacturing.
manufacturing facilities across the country. And I think a big part of that is also the tariffs.
Tariffs.
Because of tariffs, they're coming
Wow.
in.
Tariff
not
hit?
only the automobile industry, AI, we're leading China in AI. We're
There's
leading
China.
everybody in AI. We're leading
Jesus, he's
everybody
going down
in
the
everything.
list.
We have the hottest country right now.
Hottest!
I can tell you,
Oh
a
my
lot of
God, he's
political
going
people
down the
behind it,
list!
Great political people, very successful.
One more. Sleepy Joe. One more.
We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, we had a dead country, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it started
Damn it.
from November 5th, but it also started when we did
November
the tariffs, and we
5th!
had tremendous support on the tariffs. It's bringing in
Wow.
trillions of dollars of wealth.
Thank God I
It's
sold
bringing
that
in
one.
National security.
For I
And
thought it was
stop-
October 7th.
8 wars, and of
so
the
good.
8 wars, 5 of them have been
Oh.
because of
9
tariffs
wars?
and trade. So they're very important. And General Motors plans to
Damn
invest
it.
$4 billion as it brings its manufacturing back to the United States from Mexico.
Mexico.
After
Wow.
falling by 5% under Biden, U.S. auto production has surged by 10%
It's Sleepy
so
Joe.
far this year. You know, I won the auto workers vote, but now even the head of the auto workers said Trump is the greatest president we've ever seen. And he happens to be right about that.
Way better than Sleepy Joe. Come on.
But we're protecting our auto workers, and we're making it easier
He's still
for
Q&A,
every
so it's
family
still okay,
to
but-
afford high-quality cars. In other words, we're bringing automobiles back and the manufacturing of automobiles back
Wow,
into this
he's
country.
spam
We
manufacturing.
lost 52% over the years, 52% of our automobile manufacturing. You see it. Closed factories all
Has
over
he
the
not
place.
said
Now
inflation
they're all
yet?
opening up.
Come on.
They're being, in most cases, they're being knocked down, and new ones are being built in their place. And a big beneficiary is the state of Michigan, but South Carolina, even states that didn't really do too much with the automobiles, they're opening up plants. It's been amazing. So between automobile plants, AI plants,
And auto
plants
pens.
of every other nation, really every other type, including chips. We're going to have a big percentage of the chip market very soon, not because of the CHIPS Act, which was horrible and ridiculous, where we just gave these companies billions and billions of dollars and they just kept the money, but because of what we did with tariffs. They have to build here, otherwise they're going to have to pay tariffs. They won't be able to do business in the United States.
Got spammed.
And we're going to have a big percentage of the chip industry. As of about a year ago, 2 years ago, we
Sleepy
had
Joe
none.
down to 3
And
cents.
now we're
Who
going to have
bought
a
that?
very big percentage when it all finishes out. So I'd like to ask Secretary Duffy to speak, and then Mr. Farley, and then Filosa, and Urbanik, and Castrita. And also, we're going to ask some of our political leaders to speak, because let me tell you, they went out of their way. This was
Holy
not
shit, it's
easy.
going to last so long, isn't it?
People were brainwashed. This is a green new scam. And people were paying too much for a car that didn't work as well. And now they're going to have a great car that's going to be environmentally friendly, but it's going to cost you a lot less, and it's going to work great. All of the nonsense is being taken out of the cars. So, Secretary Duffy, could you say a few
Thank you,
words?
Mr.
Inflation
President.
could be low.
Yesterday at the cabinet meeting, the president was talking about affordability, and the way that Democrats talk about affordability is a lie. Today is a perfect example of that. So these CAFE standards.
Let's try to get some,
what was contrary to
cheaper
the law.
limits.
Congress set a rule that says you have to look at combustion engines. Biden and Buttigieg actually did an analysis using
Edge.
Buttigieg used EVs and hybrids.
Dude, he's
to
in the
come up with
nickname
a
mood, bro.
62
Just hit
mile
the
an
Sleepy
hour
Joe.
per gallon standard, which I think the car companies will tell you is completely unattainable. So they spent a lot of money on technology trying to meet the unattainable standard, driving up the cost of a car, number one. And then number two, if they couldn't meet the
Investment, lower.
unattainable standard, they had to trade for carbon, costing billions of dollars, and again, driving up the price of the car. So, Mr. President, what Democrats were doing were not making cars more affordable, they're making them less affordable. The consequence of that is going
Affordable.
to be that more Americans can afford to buy a new car, which means they're going to be safer on the roads because of all the great new technology we have that save lives.
Man, I feel like I should have
So
done more
we'll have
research on
less death
affordable,
American
bro.
roads. These rules are going to allow
'Cause
the
affordable
automakers
cars
to make
seems to be a pretty
vehicles
good
that
tech
Americans
speech.
want to purchase, not vehicles that Joe Biden and Buttigieg wants them to build, which is important.
Sleepy Joe, come on,
but
hit it,
also,
bro.
this is important for American jobs. The more cars we sell, the more jobs we have in this country. And so this is jobs, this is freedom, and this is common sense, Mr. President. So thank you for your leadership. And I appreciate what the Senate did with the big, beautiful bill and what we've done here today. So thank
Thank
you,
you
Mr.
very
President.
much. A big, beautiful bill is, it's something. It's amazing. Wait till the people see the benefits and the lower taxes that they're going to have, lower regulations. So, how about Ford?
Damn,
Mr.
I
President,
almost hit inflation there.
Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the #1 auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here we make in our country.
Great.
And we never left, unlike many of our competitors. We're the #1 exporter.
Getting penny jumped
We have
on
the most,
inflation.
auto factory workers.
Only thing that
And
hasn't
this
hit Democrat
CAFE
and
standard that is
investment.
aligned with customer demand is the right move for a lot of reasons. We were #2 last year in EV sales. We were #3 in hybrid, and we're the leading brand for combustion. We believe that people should be able to make a choice, as you said, Mr. President, and we will invest more in affordable vehicles. This allows us to invest in affordable vehicles made in the U.S., which we will take the lead on, and will allow us to make vehicles more affordable.
Come on, stop penny
so
jumping
Thank
me.
you for making this step for all of
I'm
you.
penny jumping you back.
Thank you very much. One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan.
No, I'm not getting a
just
Ford.
left, and
Come on. Why is this pause?
it used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy, they really are, they're actually, some of them are really
Delete the
beautiful,
limit
actually.
orders, bro. I don't
If you
know if
take a
those
look,
will get filled.
Honda, some of the Japanese companies.
I need him to hit
do a
Sleepy
beautiful
Joe.
job. But we're not allowed to make them in this country, and I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars.
gonna
Would you
approve
like
them.
to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working, so even when it's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight.
He's not
In the
sleepy.
States.
He's not a
He
sleepy
gave me
guy.
the directive to clear the regulations on this, to
Yeah.
which we have. And so
Ah.
if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive, and it really gives people a chance to have a car, you know,
Yeah.
have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so, you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market. Please, would you like to say
Come
something?
on.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great day for us at Stellantis today because it's the day where we see CAFE regulation reconciled with real customers' demand. That's why at Stellantis we decided to invest to Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler $13 billion in the next 4 years, increasing production by 50%, delivering to the market 5 new vehicles, and creating 5,000 additional jobs. That's because we believe in what you, Secretary Duffy, and all your team is doing in this country.
A
We believe
Huawei
in
car?
growth.
Yeah, I don't even
We are
know.
ready to invest even more. So thank you very
It's
much.
a
Thank you very
Hyundai,
much
but
also for this great news of the
He's
kids
spitting nonsense.
which we are very interested into. And we are very looking forward to work with Secretary Duffy, your team,
Yeah.
in the future for the next steps. Thank you very much.
We'll get ready for those cars because we've
We will.
already cleared the way. You can start right away.
We will.
Yeah?
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you,
President.
Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We support your leadership for this issue that is so important to the auto industry. I'm here representing the hard-working men and women of Orion Assembly in Michigan.
Right.
The facility, our manufacturing facility there is currently going through a retool so that we can build additional
Huh.
U.S. manufactured pickup
Michigan?
trucks and full-size sport utilities for our customers, and we're so excited about that. And thank you for your support. Secretary Duffy, thank you as well.
Come on, Donnie.
And this is largely coming in because of the tariff situation. We have-
Another tariff?
We're taking in trillions of dollars, actually, trillions.
Investment?
And we have so many other advantages, but these great companies are coming back to the United States. They left the United States. If somebody was sitting behind this desk that knew what they were doing, that
Come
wouldn't
on,
happen.
say
They would've
it!
said, well, you can sell your car here, but we're going to put 100% tariff, and you would have
Say
never
Sleepy
had the
Joe,
auto
man.
industry leave. Again, we lost more than 50% of our auto industry, and now it's all coming back. And I think it's coming back. Ultimately, it's going to be bigger. I believe it's going to be bigger than it was before, actually. But it's an honor to have you here. And please, would you like to say
Mr.
something?
President?
Thank you very much.
Tom Castrator, sir. I'm the chairman of National
Damn it.
Automobile Dealers.
He literally is
Some
mentioning
18,000
Biden all the
dealers in
time. You
country,
just got to hit the
along with
Sleepy
3,000
Joe.
heavy-duty truck dealers. And what the actions that you've done as the president.
This stream pausing all the time is just making me so mauled. And the fact I'm losing is not a good double.
And the big beautiful bill, the tax deduction on loans that had gone away some years back.
Right.
And now that makes it affordable for our buyers that can save money through that loan of the tax, anywhere from several hundred to several thousand. So again, sir, on behalf of all the dealers and our customers, we appreciate what you and your administration have done, and of course, our legislative support.
El Loxy, bro, chill.
Thank you.
He'll
Thanks
make it
very
back.
nice. And I'm glad
He'll say Sleepy Joe. Dude, what is this?
middle income, but for lower income, no matter what. They never really had deductions. You know, rich people like deductions, but middle income people were never really afforded deductions, which is very unfair. You borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct the interest from your income tax. And I think that's going to be one of the most, in terms of your industry, I think it's going to be the biggest thing that we're talking about, maybe even bigger than CAFE standards. People are going to be able to borrow money, deduct it, so it's going to
Come
cost them
on,
essentially
Trump.
half. And they'll be,
It'll help, yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a tremendous factory. They've never had
Some of
a
the stuff
chance
is
to do
really
that
like
before.
low though.
And that's all done.
Drill,
That's
baby,
all in
drill
the
this
great,
low?
big, beautiful bill. So it's really terrific. I'd like to ask a couple of our political leaders to say, because you guys have done an amazing job.
Guy just waddled away. You seen that? Come on, X. Come on, bro. You shit ass website. You got the worst streaming ever. Yet the White House's fastest stream is on this fucking shit-ass website. This happens when you blow Bubba and Elon in one weekend and you gotta sign an exclusive streaming arrangement to X.com. Come on, load! What is this, bro? What is this? I'm losing out. All right, I'm hearing the shit one. I'm getting the delayed one. Cause fucking Twitter's a shit ass website.
Kelly, my friend back there, has been with me from day one, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say, Mike?
Well, you know what? I think everybody's talking the same thing.
You know the way they like each other. There's no hatred between these two guys.
Why does that mean it's price? No, but you hit it on the head. The American people have always been able to choose what they want to buy. They don't want to be taken out of the market by people who, quite frankly, don't even drive their own car and saying this is the way you've got to go going into the future. And say, well, you may say that, but you're not in the market. You have no idea. And I know the business we're in. At the end of the day, if you were there with me, I'd say, Mr. President, other than price, what's keeping you from taking the car home today? It's always price. And the fact that we can
This
build a
guy's a
car that's
salesman.
affordable, that people want to buy, that's the key to it. What you've done is unlock the most ridiculous statute that ever came in with CAFE. It wasn't done by the Congress. It wasn't done. It was done by President Obama after the courts failed on it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. You're making America great again in every single way. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be so big for the auto manufacturers. People aren't even going to believe the impact this has. You know, Mike used to come to my rallies all the time, and we'd have a rally. It was like 0 degrees. It was freezing everywhere, and he'd sit there without a shirt on. And I didn't need that, you know. I didn't say it was pretty, but he would sit there in the cold, and he didn't mind it at all. I said, "That's one tough cookie, right?"
You lit it up. We didn't need any heat. You were there.
We had a good time. We had a lot of great rallies.
We
right?
did. We did. sir.
Pennsylvania.
Jeez, bro.
Please, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna
represent the
need
dealer
an
body. I'm a
extended
dealer,
Q&A.
and
That was
some of
pretty
the dealers
glazy,
in
though.
here, but, this is huge for the dealer body, the local car dealer.
This is
We're
turning
gonna be
into
able
a
to sell
glaze
what the
sesh.
customer wants, the manufacturer's going to make what the customer wants. We've got all kinds of options to the big bill. It's going to enable people, as we talked about, to deduct payments and so forth. As we say in the business, they've never been cheaper than they are today, Mr. President. And it's going to be a great opportunity for the dealer body to sell what consumers want. And 99% of the businesses in America are small businesses. Many are car dealers, employ a lot of people. It's going to be a great year for us. We appreciate your leadership. And we appreciate, man, from a retail standpoint, we appreciate the manufacturers going to step up and build cars that customers want and that we want to sell. So thank you very much. It makes it a great country.
He's also a very brave congressman because he was there on the baseball field that horrible day with Steve Scalise and some other people. He was hit, but he took it very well. He took it very well. You're my pal.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great job.
Appreciate you.
Great job. Appreciate
Good
it.
handshake.
Kevin, could you say a few
Solid
words
handshake.
of wisdom? One of the really smart economic forecasters, I will tell you. Beyond an economist, he's a real forecaster.
Oh, God.
He is.
The Kevin
Sir,
Hassett
I think
glaze.
that there's a massive
Already.
macroeconomic benefit to what we're doing today.
Don't announce him as
And the way
Fed
to
chair
think
right
about it
here.
is
This would
that,
screw me.
The car that has the best gas mileage that you could buy that has only gasoline is a Honda that gets about 36 miles per gallon. Joe Biden wanted to make every car on average be above.
Go on,
50.
Kevin
So
Hassett.
there's
Keep
no
mentioning
car made
Biden.
in the U.S. that you would be able
Bring
to
him back
sell
up
2 years from now.
from
3
the
years
dead.
from now, under that rule. Because what he wanted to do is make everybody have an electric car, as you
We
know.
need a Sleepy
But
Joe
here's
here.
the thing, that if everybody had an electric car, then nobody would be buying gasoline anymore, and they'd have to
Jalen?
take all the miles that they travel and put
My
it on the
greatest
grid.
trade hasn't
And so
happened
we would
yet.
have to increase the production of electricity in the U.S. by 25% over the next couple of years.
What
if
happened
they
to my
get that
greatest
way.
trade? It
And
hasn't
so you've
happened
really,
yet.
stopped a massive disruption for the economy with this. So thank you, sir.
And that wasn't the main reason, and yet it certainly is a main reason. You wouldn't have been able to do it.
Sleepy
even if you
Joe,
wanted
come
to.
on.
It's just so crazy. That was the mandate, which we ended. Troy, would you like to say
Oh
something?
my God, bro.
Great
Come
honor.
on,
Thank you.
Donnie,
My
dude. Get in the
family's a
jovial
former dealer
mood, bro.
28
Just
years,
hit Joe with a
Chrysler
little
Dodge dealer.
sleepy on top.
And then I got into the political world, sir.
Yeah.
I had more fun in the dealership world, but I miss it. But I still play a big role in automobiles and grateful. Remember
He's letting these
under President
schmucks get
Obama,
awarded,
when
man.
the
Donnie,
cafe
you are the
standards
prime
changes
time,
when
dude.
brought
I
up
need you to go
went through
monologue
those
mode.
challenging times as a Chrysler dealer before Stellantis came along. It was Daimler before you guys got it. So thank you very much for being
This
here
could be an
and making
inverse
these
mention
changes.
market, though.
And
I could
as you said,
get
that
every single
interest
thing
on
wrong.
the car loan piece was big, and I know that Bernie led the charge on that in the Senate and get it into one big beautiful bill. That really is a big deal, and people need to understand how big a deal that
They
is.
did a great job. And by the way, we had a great victory last night. All to all.
Yes.
Matt Epps is
Tennessee.
Kind of like our race, huh?
He's going to be a great congressman. I think so. Really, like us, right?
Yeah, he's like us.
One of my early endorsements, right?
Yes, sir.
Can we talk about it? Yep, right here is the man. Come in. Let me say hello to you.
Bro, this like round table thing, dude. They're like talking to him like he's
Thank you,
king.
Mr. President,
you.
for your leadership with the
This
thing.
is
I
a crazy
admire most.
glaze. They're all
You've
around
been
him
in
like
business,
like
you've
it's
been in
Thanksgiving
battles over
dinner.
the years, and you're helping us lead us out. Most people that are up here have no idea about business or small business.
That's
Makes a
true.
big difference. One is. Number two is, I would just say in terms of the tax stuff we're talking about, one of the things that get missed, and I'm in
I
full
gotta
on
text.
Sarasota
I gotta
region,
check my
is
Twitter
the
chat.
ability to deduct. Most people have a small business, they'll have a lawn business, they'll have this, that, they buy a new or used truck. They can take that deduction, let's say they're in a 20% tax bracket, but the vehicle's 60 grand. They can take 20% of the 60 grand, get a $12,000 write-off. They can pay their payments for the first year. That's a powerful tool we don't talk about, I don't know why. But at the end of the day, because of what you've put in
There you
place,
go, it works.
full expensing,
Turn it back
that's the
on.
tool that
Big.
would use. And you could just think about all the people in
Has he hit
Florida,
anything on the
different
weekly?
general
He's
places,
hit
they're
communist?
buying old vans or new vans or
Ooh,
buying
communism?
trucks, mainly trucks, and they're getting a deduction. They don't even have a payment for a year.
That's right.
So it's one of the best things for
One
Ford
of the
and
biggest
everybody
things
else.
in the bill.
Yeah,
Expensive.
expensing is a powerful tool. They can write the whole asset off the first year, take that deduction, put $12,000 in their pocket on a $20,000. Well, let me mention one other thing. They got into the e-vehicles, electric cars, and I'm talking to dealers that come in and talk to me, and basically they couldn't sell one, they couldn't give one away, and when these
Inflation that
companies
low?
they got in because of whatever political pressure. under
Sleepy
Biden
Joe that low?
administration, and they end up realizing that they got no market. A guy says, the car's been sitting there a year, I can't get rid of it. So they don't understand the market, the people who produce the vehicles, and that's made a big difference in your leadership. But thanks for what you're doing here today. It's big, it's huge.
This is such a
It'll make
sleepy
big
conference,
difference.
bro.
$12,000
I hope he says it.
on a $60,000 vehicle, upfront, day one. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sleepy Joe.
You know, we're just talking about something that's interesting. Ford would make, and I don't want to speak for Ford because we have one of the top people right here.
Mr. President, it's fine if you want to talk about Ford.
But Ford would make numerous electric cars in order to sell one Ford 150.
You gotta hit Sleepy
Because
Joe.
they'd make all their money with a 150.
Yes.
And they were willing to lose money on building 2 or 3 electric cars that they couldn't sell in order to make some money on the 150, because the 150 is a monster. I'll tell you what, that no matter where you go, they love that Ford 150.
Yes.
But isn't it a ridiculous model when you have to build 2 or 3 cars that you know you're not going to be selling or not be selling for much in order to really do something that you should have the right to do, which is
Yes.
make a car that you want to make
Yes.
and that the market wants. Right?
Come on.
So
Sleepy Joe.
congratulations on the 150.
Thank you. Best selling
Sleepy
vehicle in the
Joe's
United States.
regulation.
Just saying.
Now it's
100% built in the United States.
now it's only going to do no, but it really is. It's amazing. It's an amazing brand.
There was a lot of stupid things done here.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, I thank you, Mr. President, and Secretary Duffy, and all of us. You know, one of the last times I was here is when we signed the electric
dude, come
vehicle,
on.
CRA, Congressional Review Act, that all of us participated in. The beginning of really making
This
common
could be an
sense
L.
because it was going to impact 17 other states and really a large part of our economy. This is about affordability.
I need him to hit
here.
Sleepy Joe
I'm
to
just gonna say
save
one
this
thing.
mention market.
Well, maybe I already said one thing, so now I'm going to say 2 things. When we talk about a car and auto, we sort of talk about just, oh, we need a car. You know what a car does for a family? You can take your children to school, you can go to the store, you can visit your mother, you can go to church, you can have a job. You
I mean,
can
I'm
have the
checking up on the
flexibility that you
Mr.
need.
Beast
A
mention
car
because
for
this
an
is,
American family
so
is
fucking
about
boring at this point.
a roadway to prosperity.
Big deal.
It's a big deal. And so by making them more
He hit
affordable,
anything?
making them more choice-driven by what families want and
No
need,
Elon yet?
today is a great day.
I've got
for
no
them.
Elon on this New York Times summit.
Say.
Well, thank you, Mr.
He
President.
said it?
And
Oh my
Secretary
God, he said
Duffy,
Tesla?
And to my colleagues that are here.
Uh,
In Tennessee, we make great automobiles, and we
Fuck!
have a fantastic workforce. And whether you're GM or Ford.
God damn it,
their
Mr.
new
Beast.
investment in Tennessee,
I'm not even watching.
Or Nissan or VW or Toyota with the engine plant. What you see is
Dude,
the
I'm losing
components that are
money
necessary
left
to
and right.
build
That
these
Mr. Beast, he
cars.
really hit
And
Elon Tesla.
removing these standards and making cars
I gotta ask
more
Nick, how'd he hit?
affordable does mean that more people will purchase them, but it also
How?
means we're
How'd he
going
hit
to have
Elon
to
Tesla?
make more cars to
Whatever.
meet that demand, and for Tennessee, that is a great thing.
So, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking.
Dude, fuck.
like,
That's so
we have
bad.
The biggest auto manufacturers in the world.
I need him to
They're
hit
talking
Sleepy
about
Joe, bro.
Investing billions and they're
Or else I'll
investing
be
it
so
as
down.
we speak, but billions and billions of dollars in our country. Thank you very much. And they're here. They're not like, well, maybe we'll do it.
Come on.
They're doing it because of tariffs.
Sleepy
And
Joe!
They're doing it because of maybe they like the president, and we're doing things like this for them, which frankly, no matter who you are, this should be done. And we're doing things like deductibility of interest when you borrow money. To buy a car, you're allowed to deduct it from your income.
Damn
That
it!
is a massive tax cut for people that probably are going to be trying to buy that car anyway. And I really think that interest factor is
They
gonna be
asked
one of
about
the biggest things.
inspiration.
When
You said Elon.
I was proud of that because I thought of it, and it seems so simple. Other people are allowed big interest. If you're a rich
Fuck!
person, you're allowed to have big interest deductions for different things you do. But if you're a middle-income person that has to buy a car, you were never entitled to anything. And now you're getting a full interest deduction on the loan. And I think that's going to have one of the biggest impacts. But we're here with companies that are investing tens of billions of dollars in our country as we speak. It's not going to be in 2 years or 3 years. A lot of it's because of the expensing provision in the
Dude,
bill. and the
hit
big
Sleepy
hittable
Joe,
bill.
bro. Just
But,
hit it.
A miracle is happening in our country. It's a miracle. This is just the auto industry.
Fuck.
But we have other industries where it's the same thing. They're building all over our country.
Dude, I'm so
And,
down.
this is a revolution is happening. It's a business
Ah.
revolution. It's a jobs revolution. It's a car revolution. We're bringing back the car industry that was stolen from us because we have people that didn't know what they were doing sitting at this desk.
Come on.
And they put the wrong people in.
Say
Because
it!
They weren't advised properly.
Sleepy Joe!
And this is really an incredible thing that's happening.
Shit.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kevin.
well, thank you, Mr.
He
President.
keeps, like,
And I
tiptoeing
think
around
in
it,
many
bro.
respects, pretty much everything that could be said has
Sleepy
been
Joe,
said.
man,
That
hit it.
I think what Kevin talks about in terms of the cascading
I need him to hit it, bro.
opportunity from this one single event
This is so
is
silly.
just the tip of the iceberg. When you think of all the rules and regulations that you have repealed, I think it's more important, frankly, than the tax cuts. However, in the working family tax cuts, we made permanent a lot of really good policy from the first Trump era, not the least of which for small businesses is bonus depreciation. The opportunity to depreciate the year that you purchase an F-150 for your small business or a large truck for your farm.
I need him to do
I
Q&A
just
here,
think
bro.
we're going to roll into 2026.
I
and we're
need
gonna
a
see
Q&A
an
so
escalation
badly.
of economic opportunity.
This
The
started
likes of
so
which you
late,
probably
though, there
have
might
never
not
seen.
be
I
one.
think nobody's ever seen it, nobody in the world, because there's never been 18 or whatever it ends up being. In 10 months, we have $18 trillion being invested. We never had $1 trillion being invested. And Biden had much less than that. Think of it. He had less than
Come on, hit it!
over 4 years.
Sleepy
We
Joe!
have 18 trillion
Ah!
in 10 months. And it's actually as of 9 months. So there's never been anything. Eric?
Yeah,
what
Mr.
do you
President,
have to say?
thank you. And on
Did
behalf
invested.
of the people of the great state of Missouri,
He keeps saying
who-
invested.
we actually make things.
It's crazy.
F-15s,
He's
to
dodging
F-47s now, thanks to you. We'll be building the F-47 and then F-150s. And those are real jobs, and we make things in Missouri. This is going to go a long way, I think, for making things more affordable for normal people. Nothing could be more American than driving a car on a highway, and this is going to make that more accessible for more people. So thanks for your leadership.
Your state's doing a
Secretary.
great job.
Yeah, well, they love you
It's a
too.
great place. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to talk to you just a minute from a rural perspective,
Okay.
because these CAFE standards were absolutely unworkable in rural Missouri.
Sleepy
We
Joe!
need vehicles that are practical and
Come on.
affordable and can haul for our small businesses, for agriculture.
It's Joe's
It
Biden's.
just
It was
simply didn't
Biden's
work.
regulations.
Those CAFE standards didn't work, so I applaud you,
Yep.
and Secretary Duffy, for your hard work and what you're doing on behalf of rural America.
Well, it was keeping a lot of manufacturers out of our country too. They said, "We're not going to." Are you crazy? They thought outside manufacturers thought we were absolutely insane with all of the different things that were just made up nonsense. It was like made up. It was really made up by people that hate our country. I really believe. Does anybody else have anything to say?
I'd say about two quick things.
No, Bernie, I didn't see you.
Two quick things I think are really important. So the person who sat behind this desk before you,
come on,
gave $7,500 in subsidies to multi-millionaires who are leasing electric Rolls Royces, electric Porsches, electric Lamborghinis. We're getting $7,500.
Sleepy Joe.
And these Democrats sit on this floor and say that Republicans are for millionaires and billionaires. We are the opposite of giving $7,500 to multi-billionaires to lease foreign electric vehicles. Number two, because of your policies, at the beginning of the year, 51% of the cars sold in America were made in America. 51% before you got sworn in. Last month, that number was 57%. We moved it 6 points, which nobody thought would be possible in 4 years. We did it in 10 months. That's something that maybe the news should cover a little bit more. And we've driven down the price of automobiles. The car prices for consumers are down before you did.
Just about everything is down. You know, this whole
Except
thing
the stock
is,
market.
they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax.
Come on.
They're the ones that drove the prices up.
Hoax.
And all they do is say, affordability, and you're supposed to say, oh, that means they had low prices. No, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say
there's something.
History. I don't believe
there's
that.
something.
Biden had, because of his stupid ways, and
Sleepy Joe,
his energy policies and his spending policies.
Say it.
We had the worst inflation in the
Sleepy
history
Joe.
of our country, and now our prices are coming down, and they're coming down for cars, and they're coming down.
Inflation hit at least.
Did you hear yesterday when Chris Wright from Energy, the head of energy in our country, said there are now parts of our country, it's all happening, $1.99 for gasoline.
Come on,
a
Sleepy
gallon.
Joe.
And we have it at $2.50, $2.60. It was at $5. And that's bigger than any tax cut we could give.
Sleepy Joe had
You know, for the
$5
average
gas.
family,
Come on.
That's considered bigger than any tax cut. So the word affordability, when they mention it, you ever watch them? It's all about, I saw the young lady that lost last night. She lost by a lot more than they thought. And we have a great new candidate in Congress. Really great, Matt Van Epps. But I saw last night, she said, it's all about affordability, all about, they never talk about like the specifics. Everything was through the roof. Eggs, when I took over, eggs were four times
He's
higher
gonna go
than
through
they
everything.
ever were.
Eggs,
We got the
beef.
prices
Let's
down
see.
to the lowest level.
Yep.
I mean, amazing. But they never, you gotta watch, they're great con
investment.
people. It's like the Inflation Reduction Act. And after they got it approved, because
Joe,
everybody
come on.
said inflation reduction, they admitted it had nothing to do with reducing inflation. It's a con job. I think affordability is the greatest con job. They look at you and they say, affordability. They don't say anything else. Everyone says, oh, their prices were so low. No, they had the worst inflation. We had the highest prices we ever had.
Oh,
and
not
now
30.
they're all coming down, including beef
I
is
bought it at
coming
30
down.
bucks.
Beef was up there a little bit. Our ranchers
Fuck.
did well, but we got to make
That's
them
not what I
do
meant to
this
do. I meant to do
less
30
well.
contracts.
But the beef is now coming down. Coffee is now coming down. It's all coming down.
Try to
And
get
it's a
16
beautiful
cents.
thing to see. But remember this, when they use the word affordability, they just say, they never say anything else. This election's about affordability, and then they go into the next subject. It's a con job. They caused the highest prices in the history of our country.
Say it, brother.
The worst inflation in the history of
Come
our
on.
country. And we're getting those prices down, and they're coming down rapidly. And you'll see those results very soon. Anybody else want to say a few words?
Dang,
Oh,
dude.
Ted,
Come on, hit
Ted.
Sleepy Joe. How's he
I'm easy to
dodging
miss.
there? How? I accidentally sized up another 30 shares.
Well, Mr.
Please.
President, I want to congratulate you on behalf of everyone here for the leadership that you're showing, and this is a victory today for consumers.
How's he
This is
not
a
hit
victory
Sleepy Joe?
for affordability. Your critics like to say the word affordability. Under Joe Biden and the Democrats,
Come on,
they put mandate
Sleepy
after
Joe.
mandate after mandate on cars and trucks, and they drove the price up thousands and thousands of dollars. And with the actions you're taking today, and you put on top of that the one big beautiful bill, You know, most of the senators here on the Senate Commerce Committee, and on the Commerce Committee, we worked together to zero out the CAFE standards. We wrote that into the law that the CAFE standards went to zero. What does that mean? It means you can now, as a consumer, buy the car you want. It also means people's lives will be safer, because what these regulations did is they forced cars to be more expensive and made of plastic instead of steel, because you had to make them lighter to comply with these standards, so you'd get in a wreck and people would die. The result of what you're doing, you're literally saving people's lives, and you're making it where families can afford to get a new car. These actions will drop the cost of cars and trucks thousands of dollars. That makes a real difference. And I'll make one final point. You know, about half the members here are car
Come on, you gotta hit it.
And I will say my good friend Roger Williams out in the lobby, he tried to sell me a car, which didn't surprise me, but I just want to give props to Mike Kelly. He showed he was savvier because he tried to sell you a car, and you can afford a much nicer car than I can. So well done, Mike Roger. You just went to the wrong customer.
I was $100 cheaper.
The thing that Ted just said, it's true. Plastic instead of steel. Think of that. And people died because of that. The plastic was plastic in an auto accident, and it broke up, and people were shattered because of that crazy deal. But it's a really good point. Go ahead.
And Mr. President, I'll tell you, the Senate Commerce Committee on January 14th, we're going to have a hearing with all of the big three there and Tesla, and the entire hearing is going to focus on how your leadership has reduced the burdens on car makers. That's lowering costs, that's giving consumers more choices, and it's producing more jobs in America.
Tidbit for
and it's highlighting that's a real record of success.
The next
Really,
mention market.
It's an honor. And, you know, they were going by California.
Elon might be there
like two
next year.
countries, California, and 15 that followed California, because
New
15 states follow California. And the rules from California were just like everything else. That's why people are leaving. That's why it's such a mess. It's got there's a state with such unbelievable potential. But what they did with the car industry is incredible. And that was, you know, the car companies didn't know what to do because they had two standards, and you can't build two different cars for the same country. And what we're doing today is very big. Would anybody like to say something? Would you like to say something, my friend?
I was getting it prepared.
Thank you.
Is that it? No way, that's it. Questions? Let's go.
And we love you, Brian.
Oh, I love you too, Mr. President.
He's a good man.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
appreciate
Sleepy
that.
Joe. We
I've
need a
always said
Sleepy
you
Joe hit.
tackled the three M's: mortgage, munchkins, and marriage. You've solidified all of those. I'll add motor vehicles to that now. My question, I got one about consumer confidence. We just came off one of the record high Black Friday, up 9.1%.
Record high, highest ever, biggest amount ever purchased in one day. Yep.
Which I think counters this narrative of affordability, because apparently the Americans are spending money. So I want to see, how do you view that for a consumer confidence being so high going into Christmas and going into next year? And I do have one for the auto group after you.
Yeah, I just think that we have tremendous confidence in the country. You know, one of the things in terms of confidence, if you go back a year and a half, you know, it's amazing, we're like into 10 months already, but you go back a little bit before the election, because after November 5th, it started changing rapidly, even though we weren't running it until January 20th. But when
November
you look back
5th.
and you look at the enlistment of soldiers, people that wanted to join the military, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, it's like booming. It's all Space Force. But we had the worst recruitment in the history of our country. A year later, we have the greatest recruitment in the history. You can't even get in. Getting in is like getting into a top college that you couldn't get in. People
getting into the military is like getting into a top college.
Other things.
All right, so I shouldn't get drafted then.
You couldn't hire anybody in the Army.
I should never be able to be drafted
then. You couldn't get people in, and we now have gone from that.
I couldn't get in through DEI.
We're getting high quality people, amazing people, wanting to be in the military. They have spirit now. You know, call it what you want, but that's part of it. But they have great spirit now. It's a great thing. Go ahead, ask your second question.
Okay, my second question, I've got a lot of close family friends in the automotive business, own dealerships all across Southern California. They sent me a question to ask you. There's a thing called a mileage blocker that is installed on vehicles. It's a type of computer chip which
pre-buy,
alters
quick.
the actual mileage
driven on the vehicle, so that when you have a leased vehicle that's turned in, they're losing thousands of dollars and got to go chase down these manufacturers. What can we do to track down these manufacturers of this illegal computer chip that's really hurting automotive industry?
Have you heard about this?
Yes, sir. They're getting built in China, and most of them are coming out of Great Britain, sir.
Yeah, Trump's already hit
They're being
China.
distributed through China, through distributors selling them online through Great Britain. Yes, sir.
That's not so good. What do you think?
Look at that.
Bernie, do you know anything about that?
It works on older vehicles, and obviously, well, we got to do a better job of
Yeah,
making
I
sure
think
control at
it's
the border.
something, I've never heard of it. Very good. We never heard of it. That's pretty good.
Mr. President, you released video of that first boat strike on
Here we go.
September 2nd, but not the second video.
Here's the boat strike.
Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what
I
happened?
don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. You know, we stopped every boat.
He'd release
we
it, no
knock out,
problem.
We saved 25,000 American lives.
That's right.
And
Thank you.
if you
Thank
look
you
at our,
for
if
Thank
you look
you.
at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%. I'm surprised there's 9%.
Sea hits more than water
I don't
at
know
this point.
Who's doing the 9%?
What's
But
up,
it's
Christian?
down 91, and we're going to
Happy
start
birthday,
very soon
bro.
on land, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that.
So
Mr.
when are
President,
you
on
release the
Ukraine,
full-
on Ukraine,
On Ukraine?
Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were there last night with Vladimir Putin. Can you give us an update about those talks? It sounds from what the Kremlin is saying that they're not going to compromise. Can you tell us what you...
Has he hit
I
Moscow?
don't know what the
Where's that?
Kremlin's doing. I can tell you that they had a reasonably good meeting with President Putin. We're going to find out. It's a war that should have never been started. It's a war. If I were president, we
Come
had
on,
a rigged
Sleepy
election.
Joe.
If I were president, that war would have never happened. It's a terrible thing. But I thought they had a very good meeting yesterday with President Putin. We'll see what happens.
He's dodging the
You know,
Sleepy
when I was in
Joe.
this office and I talked about no cards.
He's
I said,
feeling
"You have
nice
no
today, bro.
cards."
He doesn't want to call him
That was
sleepy.
the time to settle. I thought that would have been a much better time to settle. But they, in their wisdom, decided not to do that. They have a lot of things against them right now. But you have President Putin had a very good meeting yesterday with Jared Kushner and with Steve Witkoff. What comes out of that meeting, I can't tell you, because it does
No
take
Moscow?
two to tango. You know, Ukraine, I think we have something pretty well worked out with them. They're very satisfied, considering. But the sad part is, if I were president, no war would have ever happened. They would have had 100% of their territory. Nothing would have happened. It's a very sad situation. So think of this. Last month,
dodging it.
27,000 soldiers.
He's dodging Sleepy
27.
Joe, man.
That's like, you take a stadium, a football stadium, not an arena, and you cut it in half. 27,000 people died, young, mostly young soldiers, died last month, in 1 month. And that's the only reason I'm involved. You know, we're not spending any money in the war. We're selling to NATO. We're not being ripped off like we were under Biden. Biden was handing
Come on!
everything we had, giving them all the missiles.
Oh my
everything they
God,
wanted,
he's hit
free,
Biden
no
50
charge,
times and not a
He
sleepy.
had no idea what he was doing. They're paying top
Really?
dollar, full price. For
Donald,
everything.
bro, just
Goes to
throw the
NATO, and then
sleepy in
NATO
there, man.
distributes it. NATO pays us. So we're not, it's not money. We would all, I think I can speak for everyone behind here. The politicians I know and the auto manufacturers are good people. They don't want to see 27,000 people die for no reason whatsoever. And that's the only reason I'm trying to help. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, switching to Venezuela for a second.
Damn, that's where that could have hit, bro. That's where Sleepy could have hit. Sleepy Joe Biden's war.
How's he responding?
You tell me, is it working?
Someone ask him an MRI question, please. MRI question,
I spoke to him
please.
briefly, just told him a couple of things. We'll see what happens with that. Venezuela sends us drugs, but Venezuela sends us people that they shouldn't be sending. They emptied their prisons into our country. They sent us killers, murderers. They sent us drug dealers at the highest level. They sent us gang members. They sent us
He's already
people
said
from their
Doug.
mental institutions. They emptied their mental institutions into our country. And so did other countries, because we had stupid people
Come
running
on!
this country. Really stupid people.
Just say it.
And I think probably
Just
you had some
say
stupid
it.
ones, and you had some
You
smart
wanna
ones,
say
but they
it
were
so
people,
bad.
too. Because not all of them were stupid. You can't cheat on elections like they did and be stupid. Okay?
Cheat an election.
Did you talk to him a second time or just that one time?
What's that?
To Maduro. Did you speak to him again?
No, I didn't.
Mr. President, if you do find.
When you spoke with Mr. Witkoff and with Mr. Kushner.
Last night,
did they give you the sense that President Putin still wants to end the war, still wants to make peace?
he would like to.
How
end
about a
it.
little
That's
no
what they-
Maduro,
that
because
was
he
their
just dodged
impression.
that, huh?
Whether or not,
you believe him?
Just dodged that name.
That was
He's not
their
going to say.
impression. You know, their impression was that they'd like to. He would like to see the war ended. I think he'd like to get back to dealing a more normal life. I think he'd like to be trading with the United States of America, frankly, instead of, losing thousands of soldiers a week. But their impression was very strongly that he'd like to make a deal. We'll see what happens.
Mr. President, in the boat
No
strike,
Moscow.
it is found that survivors were actually killed while
Ever since
clinging onto
Vamdani,
that
he changed,
boat.
maybe.
Should Secretary
He's
Hegseth,
got a little more
Admiral
heart.
Bradley, or others
Like the
be punished?
Grinch, his
I
heart
think
grew
we're gonna
3
find
times.
That this is war, that these people.
I need him
were
to hit
killing our
Sleepy
people
Joe, though.
By the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed.
Sleepy Joe's war,
That's
bro.
not mentioning
Just
all
say
the
it.
families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed? I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together, and I think you're going to see it very soon on
Crap.
land also. Yeah, please.
So to be clear, you
Crap it.
support the decision to kill survivors after the initial
No, I
strike?
support the decision to knock out the boats, and whoever is piloting those boats, most of them are gone, but whoever are piloting those boats, they're
Jesus,
guilty
Trump.
of trying to kill people in our country. Yeah, please.
The House Judiciary Committee has subpoenaed Jack Smith to ask about his investigation of you. I wondered, for a deposition, I wondered if you'd prefer to see that as a hearing so that the American public can see the questions and the responses more easily.
I'd rather see it probably at a hearing. Look, Jack Smith is a thug. He's a failed prosecutor.
No, don't say butcher.
He's a bad man. He's an evil man. He hurt a lot of people. Forget about me. I do this stuff. But
Don't say butcher.
I got indicted many times by a guy that they were dismissed. He's a bad guy. He's a sick man. There's something wrong with him, actually. I think Jack Smith is a sick man. There's something really wrong with him. I'd rather see him testify publicly because there's no way he can answer the questions. But Biden knew this was going on.
Come on, Sleepy
Kamala
Joe.
knew it was going along. And there's a lot of things happening right now that they don't like.
Ugh.
One of the things is the auto pen.
He hit
Everything
auto
he
pen?
signed, almost, with the exception of the part
Come on,
of
Sleepy
his
Joe.
wonderful son Hunter. Just
Please.
about everything he
Sleepy
signed
Joe.
was not signed by him. He had no knowledge of it. He didn't know what it was. People sitting around the beautiful Resolute desk knew exactly what it was, and those people are guilty, in my opinion, of a major crime. Everything that was signed by that auto pen, the man operating the auto pen, and
Come on!
more than one, because I think some of the people can operate it themselves. Some of the high-level people.
You're gonna hit
operate it
auto
themselves.
pen?
They would just go in and sign his name with an auto pen.
Say it.
Onto very important documents, not only pardons.
Sleepy Joe. Say it.
Policy, maybe cafe standards.
Say it!
For example.
Come on,
Who signed
Donald.
cafe? If you ask Biden what's a cafe standard, he would have absolutely no idea. He'd say, where is the cafe located?
Dude,
The
come
guy didn't know
on.
anything. Look, that just shows you what a rigged election
He's
can be,
literally
but
making
you
fun of
understand
him,
what I'm
bro.
saying. Thank you.
The video?
He's
You
literally
had
making
conversations
fun
with-
of his
With Jensen.
Right. So
ability to not be able to be
in your
awake.
conversations with him, have you kind of given a sense of where you are with export controls and the types?
How
of
does he
shipments that
how does he
moving to China?
dodge Sleepy Joe? How does he
He's
dodge Sleepy
done an
Joe?
amazing job. NVIDIA, very good. Yeah.
Mr. President, when do you expect for phase 2 of the Gaza peace plan to be implemented? And
Well, it's going along well. They had a problem today, I understand, with a bomb that went off and hurt some people pretty badly, probably killed some people. They're telling me it just happened. But
How
it's
does he
going
not
on.
say
We have
Sleepy
peace in the
Joe
Middle
there,
East.
man?
People don't realize it. We have tremendous support. 59 countries. There's tremendous support. But phase 2 is moving along. Yeah, it's going to happen pretty soon.
Mr. President, did you speak with House Republican leadership about your decision to pardon Congressman Henry Cuellar? And are you concerned that you made a vulnerable Democrat perhaps less vulnerable with that decision?
It didn't matter. He's a respected person. He was treated very badly because he said that people should not be allowed to pour into our country. And he was right. He didn't like open borders. He was on the border. You know, he represents a very respected man. He represents the people on the border, and he saw what was happening. And as soon as he made that statement, I then said, I'll bet he gets indicted. And that's what happened. You know, I put out my truth from that. Well, I did a truth, wonderful truth. We love truth. But what happened
We love
is,
truth.
He got indicted for speaking the truth. And his wife got indicted, Imelda. And that's sort of a first. Usually they leave the wives alone, right? Don't they, Congressman? Typically they indict somebody, put him in jail for the rest of his life, but the wife can just sit home and cry, or she'll find a new man, you know? A lot of times they find a new man that makes them much happier. In fact, a lot of times they like that man better than the one that's in jail. Go ahead.
President, thank you.
What the hell is he talking about, bro?
Jacob Frey has
Women
said that he's
who
actually proud
their
of the
husbands go to
largest
jail, they
Somali
find new
community
men.
in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is
I
also saying
wouldn't be
he might-
proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country.
In this life, he still
They've
is.
taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because
Somalia wasn't a strike.
She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman.
That would have been pretty
and I'm
easy,
sure
though.
People are looking at that.
I'm not even gonna lie.
And she should be thrown the
Somali.
hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota. You have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent.
Call him a fat slob.
He should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain.
You hit Hunter Biden,
complain.
damn.
You have her.
I didn't know that was in
She's
December.
always talking about the Constitution provides me with. Go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
Jesus
all
Christ,
she does
Trump.
is complain about this country. Without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia's.
My God, you
considered
could
by
say
many
this
to be the
because
worst
it's Sleepy
country
Joe.
on earth. I don't
Donald,
know.
bro.
I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope. But what Somalia, what the Somalian
Barack Hussein
people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the
How has he
governor.
not hit Sleepy
A
Joe?
lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, right there.
Because that's when
I'm delayed.
people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country.
I'm delayed a little
cherish our
bit. I was
country.
like,
They want to kiss
you
our
hit
country
it.
goodnight.
I did not
They
remember
talk
that.
about our country. We want them to pray for our country. And
Call
this is
in.
not the people living in Minnesota.
I don't have the
And
phone
she's a
number. I would,
disaster.
though.
She should not
For
be.
a last
and her friends
minute buzzer
shouldn't be
beater.
allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople. Okay, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople because they don't represent the interests of our country. Anybody else?
Mr. President, you on Somali immigrants.
The automakers spent billions on meeting the Biden EV rule.
Come on,
Did they
Sleepy
even recoup
Joe.
that somehow, given the change, and there's a question about the violation?
No. I'm not letting them recoup. They're going to do just fine. You know how they recoup? From this point forward, they'll do very well.
They
Can you also
recoup
talk
by
about
going to
the
sleep.
USMCA and what you're thinking about renegotiating that with the automakers?
Well, that's just.
How has he
ongoing
dodged
thing.
this?
It expires in about a year.
How?
And we'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada. But look, Mexico and Canada have taken advantage of the United States, like just about every other country, in all fairness. If it's not them, I'm not blaming them. But every country, because we had stupid people running our
Come on!
We had a lot of stupid people running. That's why we have $38 trillion in debt. But the beautiful thing about the tariffs is we'll start
He's
paying off
gonna
that
not
debt. The
say
money
it, bro.
coming
He's
in.
dodging
They're
it
finding
so
money
hard.
in our country now that they never knew existed.
He's dodging
The other day,
Sleepy Joe
$30
so
billion.
hard.
Where did it come from? I said, why don't you check the tariff shelf? They said, sir, that tariff hasn't started yet. It doesn't start till January. I said, no, it started 2 months ago. They called back, sir, you're right. It was from tariffs. No, we have a whole different country. I hope the Supreme Court I pray that the Supreme Court understands the importance of the sensible, really, I mean, this would be country threatening if something happened with regard to that. You know, the people that brought that case are bad people. They're very bad people. They hate our country. They represent foreign countries, including China, but they represent, and China's paying us a lot of money now in tariffs, but they represent people that really don't like our country much. And I know some of them, and they're scum. In my opinion, they're scum. They're absolute scum. And they're not suing for any good reason. They're just suing to see if they can stop it, because they make money if this country does badly. You know? So, but we're taking in trillions of dollars. We're stopping wars. We have great national security.
Newsom said democracy.
Tariffs. And then to think that we have to even go and justify this. The reason a lot of these people, I can tell you this, maybe we would have had the political people, we wouldn't have these people without tariffs. The people that are up here from Stellantis and Ford and General Motors, great companies, including this gentleman, they wouldn't be here today.
It's done.
If we didn't have tariffs. They'd be building their plants in Mexico and other places. They're leaving Mexico and they're leaving Canada. They're leaving.
Dude, I had
because
such
they
a
ripped off
behind
our
stream.
country. They took our businesses away from us. And now because of tariffs, they're all coming back. So it's a great thing. Thank you very much, everybody.
This is White House's stream, bro. L goddamn mention market, bro. What an L mention market. This was fucking... Let me show you. Lost $100 on this Trump one. What an L though. Because he didn't hit Sleepy Joe. How did he dodge that, bro? That would have been at least a $70 win if he hit it, but because he hit Emission and he hit Sleepy Joe and he hit November 5th, it's a fucking L. Is this Newsom one still going on? Let's see. Let's see. Is this Newsom still going on?
Your question about your own prospects outside of California. Like New York, is not always the most beloved state by the rest of the country. And they look at some of these states as aberrations or on the ends. They physically are on the ends of the country.
No, fastest, she's the fastest self-made billionaire.
It's clear that your ability to communicate is one of your great attributes. But there's a lot of people who would look in California, they look at the debt in California. They look at some of the issues that have taken place with the homeless, which you know about.
Housing costs, homeless.
Prop 47, housing costs and the like. And companies and others leaving the state, and they look and go, you know what, if we're going to have a guy managing the country, California is not the example we want to follow.
Fake Tapper all the way down?
We went from the 6th largest economy to the 4th largest economy, $4.1 trillion a year. We have more Fortune 500 companies than we've ever had in the last 2 decades.
I don't know why that's there. I'll buy
we
that,
went from
though.
48
He hasn't said Fake Tapper, has he?
Or 49 now to 58 Fortune 500 companies. You brought up Sam Altman a moment ago. The largest market cap private company in world history. He decided just a few weeks ago where to headquarter it in the state of California, with more scientists, engineers, more Nobel laureates, venture capital, over $106 billion.
Let's see if we can snipe something here.
68% of that invested back into the state of California. Finest system of higher education in the world, a conveyor belt for talent like no other. I mentioned the R&D investments. The future happens in my state first, where America's coming attraction. That said, I also will reinforce the obvious. We're also the dominant manufacturing hub in the United States of America.
Manufacturing?
$405.6 billion.
Maybe EV.
13.9% of the U.S. manufacturing. Compare that to Ron DeSantis, 2.8% in Florida. We're the dominant ag state, $62.1 billion. Forestry, hunting jobs, ag jobs. You talk about farmers and ranchers. You're talking about my home state of California. The state of California has seen population increase. We had a Treasury Secretary here who needs to actually get some facts. You challenged him on some. California saw a population increase last year of 108,000, 105,000 the prior year, 49,000 the prior year before that. You got to update your talking points.
Gavin Newsom. So I'm watching the Gavin Newsom, New York Times. This was going on at the same time.
It really is. And
I had democracy.
And I'm also proud of the fact that in the spirit of New York Times and
that was a
the
freebie, though,
abundance
I'm gonna be
agenda
honest.
and
So
the good work that Ezra's doing, We've never tackled our housing crisis more aggressively than we tackled it this last year. We've never tackled our homeless and mental health crisis more than we have in the last few years. 0.45%
Bro, how did
increase,
fucking
less than
Mr.
1%
Beast say
in
Elon
unsheltered
was his
homelessness.
inspiration?
40 other
That
states saw
cooked me there.
significantly higher increases in homeless. I'm not happy about that, but
That
we're
was stupid
finally
by me, I
making
guess.
progress.
Dude, I'm so down.
So in many ways, I think
Today.
there's a story to tell, and I'm not arguing for my own case, but it's a story that I think a lot
Is
of
it the fake
Californians are
tapper
proud
that just did that, or?
I wanted to go back to you've mentioned grift a couple of times, and corporate leaders doing things to placate.
He hit crisis
what you
right
think
then.
of as this administration. You mentioned law firms and others. I talked to Secretary Scott Bessent earlier this morning. We were talking about David Ellison and Paramount. It's a deal, by the way, that would likely happen in your state, depending on what ultimately happens. I don't know if you want to go see Rush Hour 4 or not. If that's on your.
I liked 1, 2, and 3, so I'm a Chris Tucker fan. So.
But my question to you is, do you blame the businesses for trying to curry the favor, or do you blame the administration or the other political party for incentivizing or creating this opportunity if you think that's the case?
Look, I think Trump has dialed it up. You got to kiss the ring, the fealty to the dear leader. It's the likes of which we've never seen. This guy sees himself as a.
But if you were Tim Cook, and I'm serious, if you were Tim Cook, under the circumstances, and he's in your state, under the circumstances he is in, which is he manufactures a lot of stuff in China.
And he was
worried about the tariffs.
He was able to make a phone call that no small business in my state could have made. I mean, how about my farmers and ranchers in California? How about all these small and medium-sized businesses that can't pick up the phone and get an exemption on their tariffs? So yeah, it breaks my heart a little bit. That's a version of crony. That is, by definition, crony capitalism. It is the definition of it. But what is he?
Don't know if he's going to hit
the
anything
generous,
else here.
Analysis.
So he's getting no's.
That's called being a fiduciary.
They got to
Doing what he
mention the
needs to do on behalf of
wildfires
his
at all.
shareholders. That's his job. So do I begrudge that? Yes. But do I begrudge him? Not as much.
I don't think anything would be safe.
But what I do begrudge is the tone and tenor
Is
that
Elon
this
a good one? A
administration
good
has
buy?
set,
I'm going to buy this.
and the expectations they've set, that if you don't do the bidding, you don't write the check, you don't get the contract. Directing contracts, changing procurement, sole source on this, sole source that. This is a different level than we've ever seen in the past. Some would argue, okay, it's just more transparent. BS. It's at a different scale than we've seen in the past. And for those that are complicit and participatory in that, beyond their fiduciary responsibility, that's where I have a real problem.
We talked to Dario Modi today, and we also talked to Mary Barra, and you're going to see a connection between the two in just a moment. One of the things that's fascinating in the AI space is that there are states, including California, that would like to regulate artificial intelligence, as you know.
Yeah.
And for a very long time, California regulated fuel standards, efficiency standards.
Well done.
You see how we're connecting these two?
I'm impressed with you, man.
Okay.
That's why you're interviewing me.
And here we are, and it's interesting. I think if you're the governor of the state, you might say to yourself, states' rights, we want to do this this way. If you become the president of the United States, do you want to do it federally?
Well, there was a president.
And what's the better approach?
There was a president of the United States by the name of Ronald Reagan, whose approach was, in 1967, to advance an effort to regulate tailpipe emissions. Created the California Air Resources Board. It was codified by the Clean Air Act in 1970 by Republican Richard Nixon. Did so in response to the smog crisis in Los Angeles. Businesses leaving, people leaving. They couldn't do business in my home state.
It's crisis
And so they began the modern environmental movement, particularly as it relates to issues of emissions. What Mary did, with respect, I say this, because I've worked with her in the past. She worked behind our back to work with Republicans in Congress and Trump to gut that leadership, going back to Ronald Reagan, through a process called CRA with Senator Thune. And she lied about it. She worked behind our back to gut that. Today, she or her representatives are back in the Oval Office today, celebrating the fact they're going to increase costs for fuel and increase subsidies for polluters by rolling back Joe Biden's fuel efficiency standards, celebrated by big oil that just got $18 billion in subsidies, big oil and gas, in the big beautiful bill, that will put us further behind our number one competitor, China, in terms of a global market. And so I'm not happy about that as a Californian.
Maybe climate change?
But as someone just came back from Belém, came back from COP, and everywhere you went, there was a BYD. I mean, these guys are flooding the zone. China understands the opportunity. It's about markets, it's about supply chains, and it's about influence. They're doing it in Latin America, South America, increasingly in Europe. And we are doubling down on stupid here in the United States. 70% of the EV market is coming out of China now. They're 3x the manufacturing of automobiles that we are in the United States of America. About 31+ million vehicles to
We got something on EV.
And it's the tech stack.
$3.
Where they're dominating. It's batteries, it's software, it's the future, it's mobility. And so, yeah, I'm a little ticked off that these guys want to pave over the old cow path as opposed to transform the industry and the technology and lower costs for consumers and not have the socialized cost of pollution and lousy health as a byproduct of it.
We've only got a minute, and I have a final question, and it's from a longtime DealBook reader who asked this. If you are not the Democrats' presidential nominee...
why is so much focus on this?
In 2028, who does he want to be the nominee, assuming they can win the election?
Right? Someone who's a hard-headed pragmatist, someone that understands we all need to be loved and all need to love, meaning someone who's a repairer of the breach. And, you know, the spirit of Father Cause, Isaiah. Someone needs to be a repairer of the breach. We're polarized and traumatized. This is exhausting. The guy literally calling people the R word. Piggy, that's just not.
R word? Retarded?
This is, we're better than this. The reason I started my podcast and my first guest was Charlie Kirk. To show respect.
Charlie Kirk.
People I disagree with. Bannon, who I had on. Newt Gingrich, who led my recall campaign. Divorce is not an option. We have to define the terms of our future. And so this notion of all being better off, we're all better off, is the kind of attributes that I pray that our nominee brings.
There's not a name? Do you think Kamala Harris could do it again?
There's literally...
Like Bashir?
He thinks himself can.
All of them. They're all, and there'll be the surprise. Mr. Beast may run. You know, we'll see. What's the moment? I think right now the obstacle's the way, in sort of the stoic frame. The impediment to action.
He kind of joked about Mr. Beast running, but that could actually
situationally
happen.
Getting back to 2026. I know we all want to paint that positive alternative beyond Trump. And everybody's right to have that conversation.
Is that J.D. Vance, by the way, in your mind, too?
I'm not a huge fan of his.
No, I'm saying, is J.D. Vance the person you think that you'd be running against?
I think Trump's not sure. Trump will determine that. I mean, Trump, he doesn't care if he's the heel or the hero. He cares that he's the star. And he's not going to walk away. He's going to rig that nomination. And you heard him yesterday, even in the Oval Office, or in the cabinet meeting, he was saying, well, is it Rubio? Is it Vance? Is it Vance Rubio? I mean, he's already playing
He heard
around
about it
with this.
yesterday.
But he'll make that determination, ultimately. An extension, again, of his third term, if, because of time of life, he can't extend it, and the Supreme Court can't extend it for him. What, you got one more?
I got one more. I got a
Elon?
No.
It's always the last question that gets
No, it's actually not that. It's not that hard. The question is, if you are not the governor and you're not the presidential candidate, what do you actually want to do?
Oh my God! Look at me. I'm physiologically, I'm changing. I've got my arms crossed. Well, remember, people don't know this about me. They don't know much about me. It is remarkable that what's perceived versus reality. And God forbid, I sound like a politician. I actually have a book coming out, Young Man in a Hurry. I know. Again, speaking of purchasing, you can buy it in bulk. It's
Ain't no one buying that book,
to
bro.
sort of demystify all this. February 23rd.
Come on.
But I say that to make this point, that I'm a small business guy. I started right out of college, pen to paper, one part-time employee, Pat Kelly. Opened a little business with literally $175,000, 13 investors. I built that, restaurants, hotels, wineries. We got about 1,000 employees, 23 little businesses. I
Don't
say
think
that
Elon's
not
gonna
to
hit
impress
you.
any of you, but to impress upon you my passion for entrepreneurialism, my passion for risk-taking, free enterprise. And so I'm still that guy. So for me, you answer that question. That's my backup plan. That's my default. But I'm also deeply committed to public service and deeply committed, however that manifests, even if it's not an elected office. And I'll close with a Justice Brandeis quote. Why not? When in doubt, Justice Brandeis. He said, in a democracy, the most important office is not governor, mayor, president. In a democracy, the most important office is office of citizen. So it's in that spirit of citizenship that I look forward to the future as well.
Governor Newsom, thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very much.
You get some cheaper.
Thank you very, very much. Really
nose
appreciate it.
for things.
We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to be back with our final speaker of the day, Erica Kirk.
Ooh, Erica is our last one. Yep. Sure watching that. I'll buy the no solar. There we go. Oh, there's Newsom. I made something on Newsom. Like, something like $30? I'm not sure. $30 on Newsom. It's a struggle. I should turn it there. Primary monitor. Yeah. Well, got something on that Newsom, but what else is there? Newsom, we got Erica mention, and that's it. If it's just Erica mention, I'll probably just hop off. Just Erica, what Jimmy Wales will say during Reuters Next.
Between 1 to 2 years of money in reserves in case of any issues or problems.
He said everything?
And we're,
He said
the last
everything,
time I
Dan.
checked, we were at like 20 months. And then we also have a separate endowment fund, which is more like a university.
Yeah, not playing that. Oh, there's some earnings calls. Survivor. What will Drewski say on Jimmy Kimmel? For real? What will Drewski say? White face. All right. I'll probably hop off then. Go eat. That was an L Trump market though. Damn, I'm kind of down, bro. Down all time. That Trump market lost. So Newsom I made about $20. Announcement I lost about $120. And then I lost $120 on Mr. Beast. Fucking NYT deal summit. God damn it. Why did Mr. Beast only say Elon, bro? That's literally like the only thing he said. That's so annoying.